Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. I use products and demonstrate how to use these products that Stampin' Up creates and produces. So today I have for you another sample using the Sweet Citrus bundle that's found in the annual catalog. And here's what the stamp set looks like. And it does have dies to match. And the dies will cut out this part and the inner part, along with, actually here are the dies right here. So you have the outer circle here, or the outer parts of the lemons and limes, or grapefruits, whatever citrus you want to create. Then it cuts out your leaves, it cuts out your triple flower sets and your single flower sets. And then it has some really cute sayings called "Enjoy the sweeter things in life," "Have a zesty birthday," "Sending you a big squeeze," which we're going to be using today, and "Thanks a bunch." And these little circles right here are the centers to the flowers. So just so you know, because for a while I thought that would be the centers to the citrus, and it is actually the centers to the citrus blossoms. Okay, so here are the samples that I have, and this is called Emboss Resist Technique. So if you're new to Emboss Resist Technique, you definitely want to hold on and watch how this is done. This is using Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lolly, and Lemon Lime Twist, and this one's using Flirty Flamingo and Lemon Lolly. And we will be doing this one today, so I'm going to set this one aside. I just wanted to show you an extra color scheme for doing this technique. I love the Sweet Citrus bundle because you can make it whatever citrus you want. You can do grapefruits, lemons, limes, oranges even. But we're going to be doing this one right here. It reminds me of pink lemonade, pink lemons. So this is the one we're going to be doing. And so to start, we're going to need basic white cardstock. And this happens to be 3 3/4 by 5, okay? And I'm using our foam mat because I'll be using photopolymer stamps. This stamp set is photopolymer. So it's best to have some kind of cushion underneath so it stamps really nice and crisp. You will need Versamark ink pad, okay? And we do sell Versamark. And it happens to be just a clear watermark ink pad. And then you will need clear embossing powder to do this technique. I already have the inside of the citrus and the outside of the citrus on 2 separate blocks. And what we're going to do, what I have found is when using Versamark, it gives you a very clear stamp image on white, and so it's really hard to see. So I'm going to try it different today. I'm going to do the inside first and then the outside second instead of the opposite of what I did before. And we're going to see if that works better. So for now, let's get started. This happens to be, if you get our embossing, it's kind of like an embossing kit. You will get like this little, this is like a cornstarch pouch. And what it does is it takes the static out of your paper. And so you're not going to get individual little pieces of powder sticking everywhere. So when you emboss, you should have a crisp image and you're not getting extra powder everywhere on your project. So I always just go over it really, really good. Now, if you don't have this little cornstarch pouch, then a dryer sheet will work as well. So, okay, so Versamark, and we're going to do the inside first. Now, the reason I'm doing the inside first is because it's a bigger image. And I think you're going to be able to see it better than just seeing the circles or the rind on this. So, and what you're going to do is you're just going to come in and you're just going to stamp it in different places. Pressing and then lifting. And then you're going to kind of see, you see that kind of that watermark a little bit? Okay, so that's what you're gauging on. So you have to have really good eyes for this, especially on white. Now, if you did this on a color, you would be able to see it very, very good. But then the Emboss Resist kind of takes away from the concept of what we're doing, because you'll see why here in a minute. Okay, so then I'm going to come in and just rotate it and do another one down here. Okay, and then I have an upper corner up there that does not have anything on it. And I'm going to kind of turn this around a little bit, turn my paper around, and kind of stamp another wedge there. Okay, and so then you're left with all of these little watermarks of inside citrus. And then you're going to take your skin part, I guess, or outer layer. Okay, and then you're going to come in and you're just going to kind of go over. And this is when it gets tricky because you really have to stand up and over this to see where your lemons and limes are. Okay, and this may be a little off, and that's okay. Okay, and then you're just going to come in and do it again. I'm going to turn this a little bit, and so I have a circle. And it may overlap a little, and hey, that just adds more character to it. Because if you'll see on that one that I showed you with the lemon lime, it does have, and I'll show you that again here in a minute, it does have, if you'll see, this overlapped and it looks fine. So, okay, so I've got my citrus all stamped. And then, so what you're going to do next is you're going to take your clear embossing powder, and I store mine in a little box like this. Okay, if you don't have one like this, our embossing powders come in little jars, and what you can do is you can store your I sometimes use my embossing powder, I put it in coffee filters. That way it's easy, like when I'm ready to put it back in the jar, it's easy for me to fold these and then easily put the extra powder back in the jars without wasting it. So, but I have this box, and it's easy for the box as well. And so what I'm going to do is carefully pick this up and pick a point where I don't have anything inked on. And then I'm just going to shake this. I have a little plastic spoon I use, and just kind of shake all of this powder everywhere. And at this point, you're going to see if there's spots on here. See, you can see the citrus come into the surface. And as you can see, like this little area right here, I have a spot that did not, that grabbed to the Versamark, but I took care of that, I think. I think I'll be happy with that now. But yeah, so I have some layering going on and everything else, but I think it's going to look really cool. And keep in mind, I do have a sentiment going over, and sometimes you can use that to your advantage and put your sentiment where your weak part is. So, okay, so now you're going to use a heat gun, and I always, to keep me from burning myself, because this is going to get really, really hot really fast, I use like a little clothespin to clip where I'm not going to heat, okay? And that way you can rotate your project around as you heat it. So you're just going to take an embossing gun, and I'm going to just heat my hand until it gets hot. That way it doesn't warp my cardstock. And then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to heat this until it turns a real glassy. The clear should turn really, really glossy. So you'll know that when it's embossed, it's embossed. And same with any color you use. If you use white embossing powder, it's going to turn white. If you use metallic, it's going to turn metallic. So it's going to tell you when it's embossed. The clear, though, is going to be like a real glossy effect. Down to this last wedge. Just making sure that all of my citrus are embossed, and see, you can see that they're kind of shiny, and that's what you're wanting, okay? So then you can take your little clippy off, okay, and then you're ready to start inking. So I'm going to take my foam mat away and put something on here that I don't mind getting ink on, okay? And so the next step is going to be to ink this. And so you pick whatever background colors you want, and we're going to do the Flirty Flamingo first. And so this is my pink. And we sell these blender brushes, which happens to be really awesome. I got some on Amazon, and then I got the Stampin' Up! Ones, and the Stampin' Up! Ones are a lot better. They tend to blend better, and I don't get globs of ink everywhere when I try to blend. So I will say that Stampin' Up! Blending brushes are better than the generic ones that you get on Amazon. We have small ones, and then we have the big ones. This is the regular size, and then this is the small ones, and they come 3 to a package. And so yeah, they're definitely worth the investment. So you're gonna rub your Flirty Flamingo ink onto your blender brush, and then you're just gonna go in and you're going to ink that center real nice, or wherever you want your ink to be. And however much ink you put on here is just how, it's just going to be your personal preference. I just want it to be where it's going to look really good with the cardstock on the background. Okay, and I'm happy with that. Now, if you want, you can go in here and just do some of the corners. You know, just kind of make it like a tie-dye effect, because you are going to put yellow on here too. Okay. And as you can see, the ink is resisting that emboss. So this is why it's called emboss resist, because this clear is white, because it's the white cardstock is what you embossed with clear embossing powder. So, okay, and then Lemon Lolly happens to be our new yellow, which I love. We needed a new yellow. And then you can go in and just ink where you don't have it colored. And I apologize for my table shaking. So let me come in here. Okay, and so there is my background. Very simple, very fast. Okay, and so then we're gonna set that aside. I have a piece of white scrap that I have here. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the "Sending You a Big Squeeze" saying. In Flirty Flamingo. Okay. And then I have a retired oval punch. It's one of the whale punches that we used to have. You can use any punch or any die that you want. Punches work very fast in this case. And I'm just going to center this and punch it out. Okay, and so now we're ready to build our card. So I've got Flirty Flamingo here, cardstock, and it's measured at 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And so then you just fold it in half, and I usually have a bone folder right here in my easy access. It looks like I've moved it, but we'll go ahead. I've got a good one and a backup one, and I'm using the backup one for this, but that's okay. And then that will give you your strong spine to your card, and that way it will stand up on its own and it will not fall down. Okay, so then the Lemon Lolly is cut 1/4 inch shorter. So this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and so I'm just gluing this flat down, and I do have the Stampin' Seal stamps that Stampin' Up! Sells, and it's nice, strong adhesive. It's like a tape runner. Okay, and so we're going to come in here and just center it and put it down flat, like so. And then this goes up on pop dots, because I want the attention to go to the actual stamped image. And we sell these little dimensions, and they come 300 to a pack, 100 on each sheet, so you get 3 sheets, and they are perfect because they don't add a lot of dimensions, so You don't have to pay extra postage when you just use these sparingly on your project, but it does give you that lift that you're wanting. Okay, and I got down to the outer part of the sheet on this, and so as you can see, these are not, this is just the outside of the pop dots. They do actually look like little hexagons, the 100 per sheet. Okay, so knowing that I'm going to put my sentiment on the bottom, I've decided this is going to be my top. So we're going to put this down in the center of the front of the card. Let me go down a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to pop dot the saying as well. And on this one right here, I actually took my sponge and just sponged around the outside to kind of give it a little bit more depth, so it wasn't just a white label. So you can do that with your sponge as well. And I'm gonna move this one a little bit over to the right because I have a spot I'm not 100% happy with. Okay, and then I used our Basic Jewels, Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And I know these are clear and all, but if you use any alcohol marker, or say for instance our blends, they will color any color that you're wanting. And so in this case, I used Flirty Flamingo. And when you purchase our color blends, or our Stampin' blends, they tend to come in a light and a dark shade, so that way it's perfect for blending. And when I color these stones, I want them to be seen and seen very well, so I always pick the dark version. And then I am coloring a couple big ones here, and then we'll go up and color a couple of small ones just to make sure it looks nice. Okay, and then you'll be able to take your, you can use a pick tool. We have a pick tool that's really pretty cool. It has a putty end, and so that putty end will pick up your stone and put it where you want it. We have these for sale as well, and they have different attachments, which is perfect. I like putting one of those bigger ones in the center there, so if you have a nice half of a citrus, it goes really well in those. And then I put one on the saying, and just kind of like sporadically put these on here, like that in the yellow area will be kind of pretty. And then let's see, let's put this one right here, why not? And so there you have it. That's how I put together this card. It comes together very, very quickly. And I hope you give this a try. Here is the one that I did with the greens and the yellows. So this is more like of a lime variety. So, and this one opens, it's the same fold, but it's opening to the side. So you can try it in different directions. But this is using the Sweet Citrus. Here is the stamp set. And then the dies are also part of that. Actually, they're sold separately, but if you ever want to cut them out, I suggest doing the dies as well. So if you can do both, I suggest doing both because they work very well together. There's also an embossing folder that goes with this, and you can see that in upcoming projects that I've done, or the first one that I recorded. Go to my website, Stampin' Up. It's linked below. You can purchase these items that I used today. You can actually view the catalog. You can see everything that Stampin' Up offers and get some inspiration ideas as well for using various other stamp sets. I also have a Facebook page called Paper Peony. You can go there and see other ideas as well that I've used. So for today, this is what I have. I hope you enjoy this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. That way you'll know when I have upcoming videos out there. And the more likes I have, I will be able to do Facebook Lives in the near future. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.